Good afternoon and welcome to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. Frank Granito in studio, joined with John Kovac right now. Kevin Coleman will stop in later. Lots to cover today on Thursday, January 25th. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
There you go. So we've got girls hockey, John, from last night. A big matchup in the conference we want to cover. And you're right, what a game it was. We will touch upon the hiring of Coach Petrosio again at some point later on today, I'm sure. We've got big basketball games coming up over the next 2 days. So, you know, we're at the midway point, teetering on being in the postseason for some sports now in the winter season. And we're really starting to see the shifts of power here take place across the league.
I'll say this was the first time today that I went after a game to look at the standings. When I went to the girls ice hockey rankings on the state level and the FCAC standings just to see the impact of last night's game. I haven't done that, so you can really tell we're getting close to the playoffs. And now you have New Canaan leapfrogging its way to first place in the FCAC with that win last night.
Well, they hold on to first place in the FCAC.
Yes.
Of course, their one loss is against Greenwich. They'll get a chance at the Cardinals again later on in the season. So they control their own destiny.
Right.
But Greenwich chasing them right now. If Greenwich can knock off the Rams again, we'll lock up that top spot. This is what I learned last night after watching New Canaan and Darien play. We've seen Darien and Greenwich play already. We'll see them on Monday, February 5th from Dorothy Hamill. The importance of that first place seed, so you don't have to play the other one of these teams in that 2-3 matchup of the first round of FCX.
The way right now anybody can beat anybody in the top, say, 4 slots of FCAC ice hockey, FCAC girls ice hockey, you really want that night off. You really want to escape that.
It's not even a night off. So what you'll have is top 4 teams make it
1-4.
Number 1 is going to play against. Right now, I would lean it's going to be Ridgefield. I like the way the Ridgefield girls are playing, and that's a team too that could cause a lot of headaches for someone in the postseason. They've started to piece things together. This group, it's a young team, is coming together, playing well. But you would rather have that matchup at home than deal with Greenwich versus New Canaan, New Canaan versus Darien, Darien versus Greenwich.
Any one of those
matchups, and it's a toss-up game. We don't know who's going to end up on the other side.
Correct. I was thinking of the boys' tournament where the top 2 get the bye and the second 4 play their way in.
But you talk about the state rankings. It's a big win for New Canaan last night. That gets them, you know, up into the top 5 of the state. They've got a lot of power points left out there with Darien and Greenwich still ahead of them.
Yeah.
Of course, Hamden sitting in front of them as well. New Canaan's 2 losses this year, though, John, they're to the top 2 teams in the state. So let that be a testament to how well the Rams are playing. And the big thing for New Canaan, looking back at last night, they got a lot of key play, if not all of their key play, from freshmen on the squads. Blythe Novick, the freshman, with 21 saves in the shutout victory. You had Courtney O'Connell with a goal and an assist, freshman. Kelly Benson, a goal and an assist. Another freshman there as they led the charge, a 2-0 New Canaan victory. Let's look at some of the highlights from the Rams win.
And really, both coaches are talked about just getting shots at the net. I think that they know that it's setting up a well-engineered, well-designed play is going to be tough the way these defenses have played. Rich Buellin did say he's very happy with his team's energy tonight, and that shows.
Good shot opportunity there out of the slot. Stop. Another one here off the post. No, it's not in. Now it is. Goal! As Drugan's pass was intercepted. Now, John, it is Darien who appears that they are unable to clear the zone as a pass sent towards the front of the net. They score!
Frank, I think that's going to be Benson from O'Connell again because Benson was set up on the edge of the crease, and I think she poked that in.
So those are the offensive highlights from last night. Before we dive into that, John, you were able to catch up after the game with Blythe Novick. Let's hear what the freshman goaltender had to say in what really was a defensive-minded win for the Rams.
Network, let's go down ice side. John Kovac is joined with our player of the game. John.
Thanks, Frank. We're with Blythe Novick, freshman goaltender. 2-0 against Darien. Pretty good way to start your career.
Yes. I think our team played well in every aspect. We all tried really hard, and I think everyone on the team is really passionate about this game, so that really helped.
Now, they threw a lot of pucks at you, 21 shots, 21 saves. What kept you sharp?
Well, before the game, I talked to my goalie coach, and we kind of just talked about splitting up the game and really staying in there. And when we went in between periods, I just could try to stay up and keep my adrenaline going. So, really play by play and keep my team in it and just play the best that I could. So.
Now, I noticed after the first period, your coaches, your teammates all came around. They rallied around you. A lot of patting on the helmet, telling you good job. How important was that?
It's really nice, to know that my team is supporting me, and that's always a good feeling. So it really helps keep me in there and know that my team needs me and everyone enjoys it. So I think altogether, everyone's played a really good game.
They needed you tonight. How big was that first goal to finally break through?
I think we talked about it a lot in the locker room, and we always talk about starting strong and whoever gets the lead. It's never a good feeling being the go-getter and having to come up from behind. So I think getting that early lead really was big motivation for all the girls.
Blythe, congratulations. Great game. Thank you so much. Frank, back up to you.
All right, thank you, John. Thank you, Blythe, and congratulations.
Thanks again to Blythe catching up there, John. And, this is now the second consecutive win for the Rams against their rival Darien after dropping 10 in a row. I was a little concerned yesterday. What was the mental factor going to be like? How motivated and aggressive was Darien going to come out? How do the Rams respond now to being that top dog in the conference for the first time in a while? They looked calm. They were smart. This was a great paced hockey game.
Oh, yeah.
It was fast. It was up and down. You had that rivalry, the little chippiness of a rivalry, but it was matched with the respect for both these teams. In my opinion, it was the best hockey game we've seen all year.
Talking to both coaches between the second and third periods, they were both happy with the way things were going. They just wish somebody would break through. It was 0-0 at that point. Rich Buellin very happy with the energy. He thought penalties were hurting his team, and he was right. And it was just a matter of establishing a presence in front to get the rebounds before New Canaan broke through. And Darien came close a couple of times, but I think the defense in front of Blythe has to be commended as well, because they did a lot to take away some clear scoring opportunities.
They really kept Darien out of the slot, out of those quality scoring areas. They blocked a lot of shots. You talk about people being measured in wealth in so many different ways. Is there a wealthier man in the FCI conference right now than Rich Buellin with Kara Fahey and Blythe Novick in net?
No.
Talk about the greatest problem in the world to have, John. He's got Fahey's sitting at 7-0 on the year. Novick, the freshman, has now beat Darien twice and only 2 losses against the 2 top teams in the state. It's incredible, and it's on both sides, too. It's at Greenwich as well. The contribution these squads are getting from young players.
That's what's really striking to me, is I think we're seeing growth in women's hockey, and I think nowhere are you seeing it more than right here in the FCIAC, where you have these more than one team that's freshman driven, that these kids have another 3 seasons of high school hockey, that we're going to watch them get better and better. I can't imagine how good this is going to get in the next 4 years.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and I mean, it's going to be a great finish down the stretch of this year. You've got the defending conference champion Greenwich somehow playing catch up and quietly just going about their business, not really getting a lot of the attention they deserve. New Canaan now looks revived and ready to go back to the top of the conference where they were for so many years. And, of course, you will never rule out Darien, especially with Jamie Tropso.
They played a great game last night. They didn't get a goal, but they drove the pace of play. They were relentless in the zone. Shots on goal were 21 each. You couldn't have a more even game.
No, it was just... we talked about it. I spoke with officials after the game, catching up with Coach Buellin and Coach Tropso. That was what the rivalry between 2 of the top teams in the conference should look like. It was fun. It was fast. It was clean. It was quality hockey on display. So happy we could be a part of it, and I'm looking forward to the other matchups we've got coming up down the stretch, and of course the FCI playoffs in girls hockey.
It's going to be awesome stuff.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Just while I've got you here quickly, your final thoughts again on this hiring of at Trumbull for football.
Yeah, I understand the school of thought that they could have gone with a younger coach, that they could have gone more energetic. I think they're trying to keep it in the one coaching tree, bring back the alum to make things better, and we'll see how that works out.
It'll definitely be interesting come the fall season. We'll have plenty more on that over the next few months, I'm sure, and certainly high expectations and big shoes to fill for Coach Patricio as he returns to his alma mater. John, great work as always. A lot of fun last night. Let you get out of here, get ready for Yankee. Got me. I'll catch up with you in a little bit, John.
All right. Thanks, Frank.
We're going to take a break on Nutmeg Sports. When we get back, Kevin Coleman's with me, and we got more on tonight's Hoops game on the HAN Network.
Walter Stewart's Market is your destination for the best big game fixings. From our house-made fresh guacamole and dips to chili, chicken wings, pulled pork potato skins, risotto balls, and take-and-bake house-made specialty pizzas. Combined with a selection of the best craft brews, Stewart's is your one-stop big game shop. Stop into Walter Stewart's Market, conveniently located at 229 Elm Street in New Canaan, and find us at stewartsmarket.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. SCAP Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Family owned and operated for over 50 years. Call, click, or stop in today. Save thousands at the 2018 Auto Show event and start something new sales event. Now through January 31st.
At Galt, we always put you first. As your full-service home heating partner, we provide expert delivery, installation, and maintenance for all your heating needs with knowledgeable, friendly professionals that give you peace of mind 24/7. Galt Family Companies, you first since 1863.
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Bay Star and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care gives you direct access to orthopedic specialists fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care can help. Open 7 days a week now at 3 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue, Norwalk, 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien, or in the Westport Medical Center at 323 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Go to coastalorthoct.com. Like them on Facebook.
Back on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network, joined now in studio by Kevin Coleman. Kevin, happy to have you back. How you feeling there, little guy?
I'm good. I can confirm that it was the live tiger in Richfield that got me sick, but we're back on the mend now. It happens. It's that time of the year, but we're back. We're ready to go. We got boys basketball, girls basketball. We're ready to go.
No one wants us lying on the air. There is not a live tiger in Richfield. Please do not believe anything that Kevin says, other than that he was sick yesterday. We missed you last night. Good hockey game, but I think we've got a really good girls hoops game coming up tonight, Kev, from Staples High.
Yeah, 2 teams that are battling out for that Final Four spot there in the FCIAC. You know, a tough loss for Staples Tuesday night against a very good Norwalk team. This is a Ward team that, you know, you look at their roster now, and Olivia Parisi gets hurt Tuesday night. She's questionable for tonight. Got an ankle injury. You want to see how Olivia bounces back. If she's even going to play tonight, that's a huge loss for Ward. If she's not able to play, that's a huge advantage for Staples, because you remember back in that game over the Todd Berger tournament when those 2 teams last met on December 28th, Staples did a terrific job of doubling up on Parisi down low. Really gave Libby McKenna some free opportunities to score. Shots just weren't falling for Libby that night. But I want to see how, if Olivia is not playing tonight, I want to see how Libby can kind of take charge and who's going to step up off the bench under maybe a new starter, maybe someone younger on this team that maybe going to step up and create a spark for this Ward Mustangs team.
Well, you talk about that first matchup earlier in the year. They met in the Todd Berger Tournament Championship game. Staples taking that one 57-52. The big concern for me, if Parise can't go, is going to be how do they contain Ariana Gehrig of the Wreckers down low.
I mean, it's not easy to defend her because she's so dynamic. She's a player that can get off the pick and roll, step outside, and hit a jumper. But she can also set up down low on the post and be dominant down there on the post as well. So Ariana is that special player where she can use her height, but also use her athletic ability and her basketball smarts to be able to create opportunities in the offensive end. But she's also a very good rebounder as well. That's a good battle between her and Olivia Parisi. So again, advantage goes to Staples if Olivia is not suiting up tonight.
And if you don't have Parisi, how much more important does the trap and the press game of the Mustangs become, and really trying to force the hand of Ellie Fair as she works her way up through the midcourt?
If I'm Coach Danko, I'm putting on the full court press right away. It doesn't matter. You have to put pressure on her. You have to try and make her get rid of the ball, force her turnover or two. And we did see Ward be able to create some steals, get some opportunities on the floor on the breaks, but it comes down to if they're able to force Ellie to be uncomfortable with the ball and trap her, double team her, then Ward really does have an opportunity to, get a lead, have a great chance to win because they have athletic players. They have Libby McKenna, who is arguably one of the fastest players on the court because three-sport athlete, great gifted athlete that she can run up and down the floor. She's got a lot of speed. She can use her athletic ability to steal the ball away. And we saw that against Staples as well. So that is what Ward needs to do. And I want to see what Coach Danko wants to come out in. We saw him come out in a 2-3 zone against Staples on December 28th. Does he go to man-to-man? Does he go to a full court press right away? Full court press is what I would do, but I'm curious to see tonight what Danko does.
And, of course, McKenna, it's that great combination of size and speed. She's got that length that's going to cause issues if you get trapped her and trying to get a pass out of trouble. But, again, the speed to close on passing lanes can intercept. She didn't have a great shooting time out the last time out, obviously, as you mentioned. So something certainly to keep an eye on there. I'm also looking to see how Staples bounces back after the disappointing loss against Norwalk. Definitely not the best game the Wreckers have played all season. So looking forward to what the message from Coach Fabian will be as we head into this game. And again, I'm going to go, I think Gehrig will get her points down low. You'll get great contribution from Lopez and Sophie Smith as well. But it's Ellie Fair, and I just think it's so crucial in this league now to have a point guard running the offense that can protect the ball. If Fair keeps that turnover margin under, I'll go with 6, then I think the Wreckers are a lock to win. But that's got to be the number. She's got to protect the ball, give Staples as many possible possessions, as many opportunities as they can. And if Parisi isn't there, you've got to capitalize on the offensive glass. There'll be a lot of opportunities for second chance points.
Yeah, the offensive glass is important for Staples just because, especially looking down, Sophie Smith, Amanda Trollstra as well down low, and, you look at Gehrig as well, using that height advantage for the offensive glass. But you're right, anytime I think for a coach, when you're trying to teach your point guard, game management and how to take care of the basketball, generally if you, 5 to 6 turnovers is the max. I think you want to be able around that ballpark. Anything more than that, you're really you're in for a long night, big trouble, and you're gonna see the bench too. But for Ellie, she's composed for someone her age, and I think she's able to handle the spotlight, handle key situations, tight games. Yeah, tough loss Tuesday night. You have to tip your cap to Norwalk. That's the reason why they're sitting number 2 right now in the conference. Talented team. So for Staples, they'll bounce back. This is a home game for them too. Ellie's gonna go out and do her thing. She can ball out. Ariana Gehrig, another talented player, but they also have to realize that this is a team that they beat a couple weeks ago that's extra motivated now to get back and even up that season series.
It's going to be a lot of fun. That game tips off tonight from Staples High at 7 p.m. Kevin and I will be on the air with you at 6:50 with all the action from tonight's game of the week. We've got to take one more break on Nutmeg Sports. When we get back, though, we look ahead to the upcoming weekend, some of the key matchups that are going to determine FCX standings as we make that push towards the playoffs. Next on the HAN Network.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop. 151 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, docshop.com.
At Rings End, we say it's time to re-love your home. Time to refresh and reinvigorate the way you live. And whether you're redoing something big or small, remember the letters RE stand for Rings End. We're the new model in home remodeling.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
Get a fresh start to the new year by shaking up your meal routine. Walter Stewart's Market is your local source for a delicious selection of fresh and convenient salad shakers, like Southwest salad with chicken, Cobb with organic chicken, Power Vegan with fruit and quinoa, Greek salad with tabbouleh, and grilled shrimp with hominy. Grab one from our salad case or order from our deli today. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Back on the HAN Network, Nutmeg Sports with Frank Granito and Kevin Coleman. Looking ahead to some big games this weekend, Kev, I want to start a little ways past you on Route 7. Let's go to Danbury. Huge game tomorrow night between the Hatters and the Ward Mustangs. Mustangs coming off a tough loss against a very talented Amity team yesterday, one that many expect to be in the Final Four realistically in that state tournament. But this is a huge game in the FCAC, obviously with one of those top spots going to be on the line there. I like the Mustangs' loss yesterday because I think it gives them a little bit of breathing room now. You don't have to keep this crazy streak going. All right, that loss is out of the way. It's out of conference. Really doesn't affect us. They can get all their focus back now for a tough matchup with Danbury.
Yeah, no, that's a good loss. And you look at Richfield, too. You want to see them maybe lose 1 or 2 games down the stretch, too. But for Ward, this is
5 or 6 or 7.
For Ward, good loss. It's a good Amity team. I think you have to tip your cap to Amity. You know, a good win for them, close game. And tomorrow night is really going to be a very good matchup. If you want to see some good FCAC boys basketball, make your way up to Danbury High School because that's going to be not only a great game, but B, that's going to be a great crowd there tomorrow night as well. Friday night at DHS, expect a good student section, a smaller gym too, so that's a tough place to play too. So if you're the Mustangs, and if you're Coach Swaller, you kind of have to remind your boys saying, hey, this is going to be a difficult place, hostile place to play in. When you play there, it kind of feels like the fans are on top of you in ways because it has that smaller feel. But again, these are two very talented teams. I want to see how Denali Burton plays tomorrow night against Ward Mustangs. Of course, Javon Hernandez, who I have been a big fan of since last year, point guard for the Hatters. I want to see how he responds back. A big win the other night against McMahon. Listen, McMahon played Danbury very strong, I thought, for that first half. And the second half, Jordan Brown really lit things up with 35 points, a big showing for him. So he's really had a nice start to the new year. I thought Jordan Brown, he's really earned himself a Conference Player of the Year nod, maybe perhaps. But of course, you can't forget about Ward. Sean Conway, he's had a terrific season. Also, another player who deserves Player of the Year nod. So it's a really good matchup. Two strong teams, possibly a playoff matchup. So that's going to be a fun one tomorrow night.
Yeah, another game last night for Sean with 35 points on the board. Would have been the star of the show again, but it was Tyler Thomas of Amity going for 39 in that one. That 40th point, his lone missed free throw, Kevin. But I give him the benefit of the doubt. 8 of 9 from the free throw line. You'd be the best shooter in the FCX conference with those kind of numbers.
Yeah, but that's got to be so frustrating. Yes, 39 points. Obviously, the win is the one thing that matters the most. But you want to tack on maybe a season accolade saying I got 40 points in one game against Fairfield Ward, especially. That I know that one free throw is probably haunting him today, but they'll get over it. But again, that is always frustrating for a basketball player to sit there with maybe a season high, career high, and to miss it by one free throw. That's a little frustrating, but he'll get through it.
Another big game in boys hoops, Wilton at Trinity Catholic. This is going to be a big one for the Warriors here. They got that win by the skin of their teeth the other night against Darien. We talked about this stretch. You got to find a way to win 3 games. This is a big one if you can get 2 out of the first 2 here.
Yeah, it's big, and you got to give Darien a lot of credit. They played Wilton really tough Tuesday night. That was a close match, and that was a good call by you, Frank. And again, close matchup. Scott Cunningham with that big half-court shot at the buzzer at halftime. So Scott Cunningham is playing lights out right now. He's leading the way. He's really come out of his shell to become the leading scorer here for Wilton. He's a playmaker. He's a leader on this team. I really like what he's become as a basketball player. For Trinity, this is a big game at home. I want to see how they respond against a very good Wilton team defensively. And, maybe they look at tape from that Ward game. And maybe they look at what went wrong. Obviously, Wilton wasn't shooting well, but defensively, what was Ward doing right that they were able to get past that Wilton defense? So it's going to be a good matchup. 2 teams who obviously are very athletic, who like to shoot the ball, but also you got Trinity, you got to give them the advantage inside. Contavio Dutrell has been dominant this year down low. Dimitri Moyes, again, the 2 of them are a good dynamic duo. It's another matchup that I think a lot of people are going to keep their eyes on tomorrow night.
One big matchup I'm really excited for. It's an interconference matchup. You're going to see Bridgeport Central against Bassick, the old school Bridgeport rivalry, potentially back on the map. Number one, why this game is so important. Okay, Bridgeport Central in Division II could get a lot of points with a win over a Bassick team currently sitting in 4th in Division I. 6th now, as they were jumped by Holy Cross and Danbury due to a couple of wins. But this is going to be a really exciting game. I think Bassick has too much. But you look back at that Central game against Ridgefield, they had the Tigers on the run. If it's not for a couple of big 11-0 runs down the stretch there, Central is knocking off Ridgefield for the first time. They would be losing an FCX game in almost a year and a half. So I love what Central's doing. I told you I liked them on the road there, and I just missed out on that one.
I know. Now, again, a good call by you, and we both, our picks were close. Our picks were there. The upset alerts were there Tuesday night, but the better teams obviously pulled out the victory. For Central, a talented team, this does have that old school flair to it. Central against Bassick. It's going to be a fun one tomorrow night. You expect the gym to be filled up at Bassick. That's going to be a really good matchup. Don't be surprised if maybe some tempers flare as well. Maybe a couple of after the whistle pushes and shoves. But again, heated rivalry, but a good basketball game. You're going to see 2 fundamentally sound teams, 2 teams who can run it up and down the floor. Bassick filled with talent. Central is filled with young talent. So this is a big, big game for Central. Even if they come up on the losing end, use this as a learning tool for not only when you go to the FCX postseason, because they are going, and for the state tournament as well, because this is a team that has the opportunity to clinch another postseason berth, and it's going to be for a long time now. Not a long time, but it's been a bit since Central has really been able to get into that FCX postseason.
Yep. Well, they're going to need DJ Fulton to have a big game tonight if they're going to pull the upset. Kevin and I are out of time for today. We're back with you in a couple hours, though. 6:50 from Staples Gym. We'll get you ready and bring you live coverage of the Wreckers and the Mustangs on the HA Network. Kevin Coleman, Frank Granito. We'll see you next week on Nutmeg Sports, but tonight and tomorrow with live hoops on the home of FCX Sports.